So will the home prices come crashing down, you ask? First, let me say, a recession does not equal a housing crisis. Remember that. And before I say no, it won't, why don't we look at what leads to a housing crash, right? The most vivid event that we have in our minds is the famous 2006-2008. Well, I can honestly stay here and talk about it all day. I'm very passionate about this. I really like to educate people on why we are not in a bubble, why we are not in a crisis. But maybe we want to have a one-on-one so I can provide you all the data. But just for the sake of this conversation, let's take a moment in time and address this journey. So the housing crash that we have in our minds had a very slim requirements or none when it came to the lending process, right? Anyone with a pulse could get a loan, right, back then. Then we had a lot of supply. Let's remember that. There was a lot of homes. The builders really built in excess. People didn't have equity in their home, and whatever equity they had, they used it to buy toys. I'm talking about, like water toys, cars, nothing that really added to their liquidity. And today, we're not in that situation because there is a huge demand for homes. 30% of Americans have their home paid for, no mortgage. The majority of home buyers have equity in their homes, and 90% of forbearance has been resolved. Back to where we were before the pandemic started. We do not have foreclosure homes happening. I know a lot of you were waiting to see a sea of foreclosures. It's not going to happen. And if we have any foreclosures happening, they're going to be absorbed like water in the desert. And the lending requirements right now are so strict. And also let's address Houston, where we are. We talked about looking at Houston holistically because we are different than everywhere else in the world. Homes are still cheaper here than in many states, and we're seeing a lot of people moving here. So that's going to drive the prices to continue staying stable or go up.